Well, it's Little Mud Hens certainly happy to see the calendar move on to the 7th month as we welcome in Matt Melzak. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate it as always, Mark.
So we start off July with the Mud Hens one game over 500, but after stumbling out of the gate, they found a way in May to win, followed by a June swoon. So maybe in July they'll let things fly?
I think they might. July would certainly be great to see them get back into that, what they did in May, because they really have been month on, or actually month off, month on, month off, when you're starting to break it down as far as the record goes. But yeah, you get that flip of the calendar, you go into another month, and you look at it, you've just passed under 70 games to go in the season, so now you're kind of going towards a sprint area instead of just, oh, we still got a long way to go in this. You've gone into the second half. Let's get things rolling here. Mudheads could do that with 3 straight games here at home to start the week.
Yeah, they start off the year 13-16, then 20-10 in May, 9-16 in June. Clippers coming to town. Let's talk about the Charlotte Knights series for a minute. The problem wasn't getting runners on base. They got them on. Getting them over and getting them in was the issue.
Yeah, they went through that stretch there, especially over the weekend where they went 5 for 21 with runners in scoring position. That's not going to get you wins. You're going to need to be better than that, and we'll see the Hens be better than that. I thought Gabe Alvarez gave a great line to me the other day. You know what? Yeah, we left a lot of runners on, but remember earlier in the year where we had that stretch where we hit 3 straight days of grand slams? So it all kind of evens out over the course of the season, and we're going to see these big swings one way, big swings the other way. The key is, can you manage it and not let a whole bunch of games get out away from you. You just got to kind of mitigate when things aren't going your way, because they'll come around and go the right way at some point.
Yeah, Sunday playing in those Charles Schultz-inspired peanut jerseys. they weren't a bunch of blockheads,
no,
as Brewer Hicklin and Andy Ibanez came up through some big hits in that game.
Yeah, and really it was Andy Ibanez with a couple of really big hits when you look at it. Brewer Hicklin had the bloop to center. Kind of funny talking with us after the game. He says, yeah, I hit one all the way to the track, hit this huge liner to center, it gets caught. Then I float one out there at about 60 miles an hour, and it lands, and it ends up being an RBI hit. That's the one that tied the game, that Andy Ibanez gave the team the lead, and he added the insurance run when it got to the 8th inning. So a couple of good doubles for him, and a good performance for him with runners in scoring position, at least the first time. Second time, you had Malloy scoring all the way from first on a double. So it was a good read on his part to see that ball was going to get down. Those are the kind of plays that you got to make when you're going to win ball games, and we saw the Hens do it Sunday.
Andy Ibanez, Justin Henry Malloy, a couple of guys who Tigers sent down to keep them sharp for when they need them back in Detroit, and that same can be said now for Trey Sweeney, who rejoined the club this week.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got 3 guys here that the Mud Hens saw earlier in the year playing a lot for the Tigers. And yes, keeping them sharp, I think, is a great way to put it, Mark, because you want them getting sharp and playing really good baseball and swinging the bats well when the Tigers do need them. That's the key.
We've got the Clippers coming in, a split series, 3 games in Toledo, 3 games in Columbus, and Thursday's going to be the big game, the big fireworks show afterwards.
Yeah, and I've said this to multiple times during the week of our broadcasts and to other people whenever I'm talking about that July 3rd game. Don't think, hey, it's Wednesday. Oh, you know what? They're playing at home and they got that big fireworks show going on. Maybe I'll just go get my ticket. Get them now if you're thinking about it, because that is going to be a sellout. We had back-to-back sellouts this past weekend. Probably going to be a sellout for sure on that Wednesday. We know that will be a sellout. And maybe even, the Thursday, the Wednesday, yep. Tuesday, those could be pretty big crowds too going into that 4th of July holiday weekend. So, yes, head to mudhens.com, get your tickets, and that fireworks show, you don't want to miss it. 17 minutes, fireworks, laser light display, music. Hey, you got to guess the theme. Figure out the theme. Nobody knows the theme. So we're going to have to stick around and try to figure out the musical theme.
Is it patriotism?
It could be. It may be something else, Mark. We don't know.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. We'll see you all week long as the Hens are home for 3 before they stay in state and go down to Columbus for 3 more.
All right, thank you, Mark.